If you don't change how you're running your Etsy store right now, 2026 is going to be a very frustrating year for you. In this video, I want to show you a system that anybody can implement at any time to truly lock in and experience fruitful change in their Etsy store. What's up, everybody? Dave here. I want to share with you some extremely important lessons that I've learned in my 8 years on Etsy and that people miss continuously, that I have fixed in Etsy stores and in students' mindsets. Everything that I'm laying out here today, there's a lot more to each thing, but if you have any grasp on Etsy whatsoever, then you can obviously expand them in your own practice as well as watch me expand them in other videos. But I want to really lay this out because it's so important that we don't focus in on the finite things on Etsy. Obviously, they're important, but I want to go big picture to help your 2026 be completely different than last year, whether you're doing 2K a month, 5K a month, 10K a month, or 20K a month. If you want to double, triple, quadruple your sales, because who doesn't, then this is going to take you there. Before we start, grab the free Etsy Ads cheat sheet in the description below, as well as book a free 10-minute call to hear about my mentorship, see how I can help you, and we'll go from there. So let's jump into it. 6 or 7 figures is math, and it is not magic. It's not about manifesting. It's not about, hoping. It's just seriously math and discipline. You don't need the next hack when it comes to trendy things on Etsy, whatever it may be, some secret group with exclusive PNGs being fed to you that you just copy and paste, or anything other than a precise system and a calm mind. That's exactly what I want to provide to you today, is the idea that a system will outperform every single finite, small, shiny object that you might be focusing on. There's a lot of shiny objects, and when all put together, they all work great. But a lot of people, I find, when students come to me, are hyper fixated on one thing or another thing, and there's a bigger picture that needs to be tended to. What you do need in this system is traffic, a click-through rate, a conversion rate, and a genuinely good product. Viral and trending replaces a genuine product's consistency, which in some cases is bad. So sometimes people get very lucky with a trending design or a viral design, or their handmade product does really well or goes viral, but that doesn't create consistency. What will create consistency and peace of mind for you is having that being able to replicate that and understanding why that happened. So it's great to have trending and viral things in your store, but it'll be very fleeting success, which will cause anxiety down the line. So 6 figures to 7 figures, that's a mathematical outcome, not vibes. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. It's a system, it's not magic. Number 2 is the product. The product needs to be genuine hearted. This is one of the core aspects that I really wanted to share here today, is that your product likely isn't getting enough effort on your part and intentionality on your part. So most shops fail here. Copy and paste, soulless POD or digital. Don't get me wrong, it's okay to be POD or digital, but lacking any care or honest effort results in copy paste, hurried garbage, or AI slop, or either way, less fruitful endeavors. I want you to ask yourself, do you really care about it? If you don't care about the product, that's okay. There's a lot of people that have a lot of different stores all under one household that don't necessarily care about the product. If you don't actually care about the product, for example, a handmade seller or something like that has their ego directly attached to the creativity, to the fruitfulness of the product, whatever, if you don't actually quote unquote care about the product, then you need to replace that and have intentionality and genuine hearted care for the quality, the end customer, the actual flow of it. The product needs to be not copy pasted, AI slop, whatever it means. There's a spectrum there. Handmade grandma is on one side and AI slop is on the other side. So you need to find a balance between those two mindsets. Otherwise, you will not have a good time on Etsy, and your 2026 will not be fun either. 6 to 7 figures requires a clear customer niche, obviously, or niches. Just don't jump around and focus. Real demand, obviously, but I just want to say that there needs to be some good demand in your niche, and you need to be able to back that up with your SEO research. Whatever tool you use, you need to be able to prove that there's demand there. And then premium perception. This is quality. Ask yourself this. Please just ask yourself this. Why pick your listing over 1,000 similar? If there is at least one reason, then you have an advantage already. If there are multiple reasons, then you're doing even better than the next person. Now, if you're in a very competitive space, you have to be advantaged through creativity and through thinking ahead and thinking forward outside of the group think. Is your offering actually different or just cheaper? That is a hard truth to face yourself with. If you're leaning on like loss leader to start, and then after the loss leader thing, your products are just another blended in, blurred mama bear t-shirt in a sea of mama bear t-shirts, then you're still not going to do good after the loss leader got you more sales than other people just because you wanted to lose $2 each sale. So loss leader is a thing, but if there's not intentionality behind it, then at the end of the day, you will end up not happy with that product because it's not going to make you happy. If you're not sure, it's okay. Just find somewhere to increase the quality. More time spent, more intentionality, more humanity, okay? This is a big theme in a few of my past videos is that, you know, with AI slop, with this, that, and the other, drop shipping on Etsy, what is going to poke through when pretty much anybody can learn SEO nowadays, and it's very easy. It's kind of hard to, unless you're brand new, it's kind of hard to mess up titles and tags. Don't get me wrong, it's very possible still, but it's harder than it was in the beginning. SEO was a big ordeal to learn, but now it's an easier task to take on and it's easier to learn. Humanity and genuine intended quality will poke through any AI algorithm. It'll be like a shining light in darkness, essentially. By the way, ads cannot fix a weak product. This is kind of an unspoken or unknown, rather, reason that people can't do good with ads. It's just true. It's because it's actually possible, I know, shocker, to create products that suck and no one or barely anyone wants. But that's not you. That's not you. You're awesome. Number 3, your Etsy ad strategy is extremely important. It really, really affects your organic success, okay? So right now, if you're testing everything, you're spending emotionally, or you don't know your math, those are the 3 biggest problems I see in student stores or with new sellers or with unexperienced sellers. By the way, people that are doing really well can still be unexperienced because the product does all the work and they're on like a few year run of the product doing all the pulling through the algorithm. And then after time and competition erodes their success, their successful store dies, and then they realize they don't actually know anything about Etsy. That's a very common student that I have because it's very common for that to happen, period. That's what happened with my first store. That's how I learned most of what I know now. So keep that in mind. That's very common. 6 figures or 7 figures needs core winners, proven organic sales. You need to test a lot. That means you're adding new listings, new products and duplicates, and high potential. This is going back to quality again. Etsy ads, real quick. I covered this. This is from my previous video on high budget, low budget, stuff like that. Etsy ads do not come back from the dead, meaning they do not become magically profitable once they spend over your target cost per sale. A $30 item, the cost per sale or your comfortable cost per conversion, maybe $4 or $6. After that, if it doesn't make a sale, turn it off. It doesn't come back from the dead. So you just know that. Sellers don't check their ads enough. They let losers drain $50, $100, $200 before reacting. It's not a time-based decision. It's a money-based decision when it comes to Etsy ads. Not about time. How long do I leave this ad run? Not about time. It's about money. It's about money. Do this every 2 to 3 days. Identify your losers, turn off anything past target CPA, worth checking organic. budget into winners. That allows your budget to go into your winners. Okay, keep that in mind. Next thing, work ethic, your weekly behavior. How often are you really dedicating time, no matter what, to the Etsy store? A lot of people have their energy scattered. Now, you might have a busy work schedule, or you might have a lot of things going on. That's fine. But you should always dedicate time to what you want to grow, because otherwise you'll be relying on hope and manifesting and this, and that, and the other. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about hope. I'm all about faith in God. But if you are relying on those things without putting in the work, then you're not going to have a good time. 6-figure sellers and 7-figure sellers work rhythmically, and they're not emotionally working. So they work no matter what. That's called discipline. And discipline, I'm not perfect. Discipline is something everybody needs to work on. So keep that in mind. Or at least we'll have to, in order to reach 6 figures easier without luck. Because like I said, a lot of people reach 6 and 7 figures with luck and with a good product without discipline. But everybody needs discipline. Weekly non-negotiables. Research your niche more. I've talked about this in previous videos. Keeping a pulse on your niche, very important. That's how you're going to know what to create next. That's how you're going to know, what to create next, because your bestseller can be right around the corner. You need to create new products, nice new products, not just duplicates. Your bestseller is behind a wall of creative effort. Okay, remember that phrase. That's straight from the dome. Okay, this is not ChatGPT. This is me writing this. Your next bestseller is behind a wall of creative effort. And that's the truth, whether you realize that or not. Your previous bestsellers took creative effort. Weekly non-negotiables, like I was talking about earlier, check your Etsy ads every 2 to 3 days. And make sure SEO has demand behind it. Make sure your SEO, the titles and tags you're using, has demand behind it. Okay? Next thing, quick note. Definitely book a free call in the description below if you want to join my mentorship. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of sellers reach 6 and 7 figures. So here's a testimony. Marija did 13K, an extra 13K in 10 days using my strategies, using my mentorship. She was directly under my wing. It's not a group. It's not a community. It's literally you and me. And you have access to me lifetime after, via email. You can write an essay to me and I'll still be there for you. You can read this email or pause it if you want and read this email. But right here, I got like 13K in just 10 days. I'm so grateful for you, learned, and still learning so much. Anyway, that's a great one. Here's another one. New shop. I've taken new shops to 10K a month in 90 days. Fiora here, very proud of myself. I was a little nervous because I lowered my Etsy budget to $25 a day last month. Thought it would drastically my traffic, but I think having 2 bestsellers on the store has increased the traffic this month. So again, thank you, Dave, for everything I've learned from you. 10K revenue last 30 days. That was her title of her email. So next thing. SEO needs actual demand. I hinted towards this in the last one, number 6, and number 5. Low-hanging fruit versus high competition. I hear this a lot. A lot of people talk about this a lot, and it's a good strategy. The low-hanging fruit is a good strategy, but people get hung up on it, and I want to talk to you about it. So almost every niche or keyword worth selling to is going to be high competition. This means in Marmalade, eRank, or whatever software that you use, don't be afraid of high competition. It's going to be green, green, red in eRank and Marmalade. It's going to be green, green, red. Just make sure that they have high search and high engagement. Everybody's got to fight for their piece of pie. It's always going to be high competition. Every low-hanging fruit that you do find will be high competition within 3 to 12 months. Period. Remember that. Write that down. You think you're the only Etsy seller scouring the internet for easy kills. No, you're not. There are thousands of people relentlessly searching. There's people that are starting their 3rd, 4th, 5th Etsy store that are scouring the internet for low-hanging fruit. They might start Etsy stores in low-hanging fruit, but in a few months from now, when everybody else jumps on it, it's going to be regular. It's going to be green, green, red. It's going to be green, green, red in eRank or Marmalade. So remember that. Final reminder, number 7, you can move fast if you create a good system. Remember what I talked about in this video and create your own discipline of working hard on your store and the things and the concepts that I mentioned today, and you will do it. 6 figures or even 7 figures if you're already at 6 figures. It's not a lucky month, it's a run rate. You can do it in 90 days of controlled intentional actions. All right. So definitely book a free 10-minute call with me in the description below. Grab the free Etsy Ads cheat sheet. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you have a beautiful day.